verse or an intro and a chorus,
Hmm.
and we'll just kind of write from there. Like we'll just whatever you bring to practice,
Yeah.
we'll just jam on it and just try to build from there.
I think you guys do a good job
Sometimes
with
that
that for real. Like you guys do a really solid job of bringing that all together and going from a 6-piece to a 5-piece to now a 4-piece. I feel like you guys have lost absolutely nothing to your sound.
Well, I appreciate that. And technically, um, we haven't really posted any photo or video
Hmm.
yet, but Charles is a real busy dude now. Charles is actually a trucker.
Hmm.
So maybe a little over a year ago, Charles took a job as a trucker. So
Hmm.
Charles is actually not home a lot.
Hmm.
So rather than Charles quit, um, we just we took on a fifth member.
Hmm.
So Charles actually just left town this past week. We just played a couple shows with him.
Yeah.
Um, so when he's here, we play as a five piece,
Okay.
and then when he's gone, we play as a four piece.
Okay.
Um, we'll add a little bit of leads into the show tracks,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and we'll run him out of two cabs. But yeah, we got a new guitarist.
Okay, that's what's up, man. I'm glad to hear that. I know sometimes when you guys have got a good nucleus, it's kind of hard to find somebody who fits in with the same idea that all of you guys have. Do you feel like this new member
Oh,
fits right in with what you guys have been doing for a while?
for sure. He's a solid dude. I mean, it's no secret we're not young anymore. We're all 30.
Yeah,
Um, we're trying to hold it down at home.
for sure.
Um, so it's like, and I mean that sounds smooth the way I tell you, like we got a new guitarist, but it wasn't that smooth.
No, I bet.
We have, we tried out a few different people.
Hmm.
We even like took photos with some other people, and like we had people, sell us a big game, and then delivered a little, and
Yeah,
we've had people flake on us, and so it's definitely been a road to getting to where we are now. Kind of getting stable again, putting music back out. And yeah,
yeah. That's
but things are good.
that's what's up, man. I'm glad to see you guys are getting back to it. So my next question, we're gonna depart from talking about some young ghosts. We're gonna get back to that here shortly. But real quick, so when I first started this podcast, I kind of like talked about what I wanted to talk about on my show, besides just the journey of music, but how music can take you places by being in the right place at the right time. And when I started my podcast, I wanted to talk to you specifically because you just this past year or last year had that happen for you. You were in the right place at the right time and got an opportunity to be the fill-in drummer for Evergreen Terrace. So
For sure.
if you could talk about that experience and what you learned during that experience while on tour with those guys.
Well, I mean, for one, it was a great experience to kind of, take things back to our roots. Um, I was just kind of, when I was young, I was like just kind of getting into music that felt a little more aggressive, but
Hmm.
like I was listening to stuff like Seven Dust, like heavy riffs, but still very much like a radio band, a
Yeah.
big festival band.
Hmm.
Um, and there were just a couple dudes that were on drumline with me that were listening to stuff that was a little heavier,
Hmm.
that were in a local hardcore band called North 24. And they invited me to my first hardcore show. It was at a
Okay.
local civic center in Orange Park, which you would never catch a hardcore show in Orange Park today.
Oh yeah. No, it's
And
hard.
dude, if I told you the lineup of this show was happening today, you wouldn't believe me. But it was sick. It was Evergreen Terrace,
Hmm.
Casey Jones, Kids Like Us. I Killed the Prom Queen.
Oh my God.
And I think there was another local, but basically, I think Evergreen Terrace was about to go out on a
Hmm.
U.S. run with I Killed the Prom Queen,
Yeah.
and that was essentially their first time to the States.
Yeah.
So they threw this massive local DIY show, and that was my first show.
That's
Um,
nuts.
so, to kind of come full circle, however many years later, like 15 years or so later, basically, I've just been really involved in my local scene, be it working shows, playing shows.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had, become friends with the dudes in Evergreen. And over the last couple of years, we've done quite a bit of runs with them. Um, and where we're just like, we'll share gear and we'll go play a few shows together.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been around their shows since I was 16, and yeah, and they had been around us quite a bit. We had played shows together, so they knew me as a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
So they just hit me up when they realized that their drummer wasn't going to be able to make it.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. And once again, talk about being in the right place at the right time. The other thing too is I know you've done a lot of like the festival circuits in the way of being a stagehand and helping set up. So how did it feel to go from doing that to now you're playing these festivals with Evergreen Terrace, and there's people are setting up for you, the role reversal? Are you a little bit more understanding because you've been there before?
Yeah, for sure. Like literally, I have been the first one on a festival site when there was no stage there. And I've literally been the last one to leave at 4 a.m. when you see a stage fold up and turn into a box truck.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no one there left but the beer cans on the ground. Like,
yeah.
So I definitely understand the process, but in this aspect, it was really cool to just kind of be able to show up and do my job, man.
Exactly.
I show up, the stage is ready. There's stage hands there helping you load your gear.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, one show, and it's funny, Craig from Evergreen Terrace, like, I think he kind of, like, he was like, wait, what are you doing? I show up, and, like, so you show up, and they essentially have, like, numerous drum risers on the stage.
Yeah.
So, and then they wheel your drum riser out. Well, like, I was setting my stuff up one day, and they were like ready to roll the drum riser out.
Mm-hmm.
So I sat my ass on the drum riser and I let them roll me out.
Yeah, I think I saw that video on Instagram. You posted an Instagram video during that time, and I was just like, look at this motherfucker.
Dude, and they thought it was funny. The German stagehands, they were like, wee! They were hamming it up for the camera. And then they were joking. They were like, all right, that'll be 20 euro.
I bet, man. So speaking about being in Germany, brother, what are some things you learned about being on tour in a completely different country? That had to blow your mind for real, just how they do things differently. You've seen it here in America. Now you're going to another country and seeing how they do it over there.
Yeah, I definitely came home and just felt like in general, there's a lot of things that they have figured out, and there's a lot of things that our country could take note from. And it's hard to sum it all up, but essentially, like, their country is very clean.
Yeah.
Like, you ride down the highway, and it's just some of the most beautiful countryside you've ever seen.
Wow.
And there's a lot of graffiti along the highway here and there. It seems like they're kind of lax on that, but like,
yeah,
you don't see all the pollution, and so that was just like one thing. But I've never toured in the aspect of like having a tour manager and having everything like taken care of.
Yeah.
So that was a nice change of pace. Like, because when I travel with Young Ghosts, it's like we're all very hands-on. Like, I gotta drive.
Yep.
I gotta set my stuff up early. I gotta break it down. Possibly drive after the show.
Yeah.
I gotta settle up with the promoter. So like in this aspect, it was very nice to like. Of course, traveling is a little more comfortable. We got a Sprinter. We got a trailer.
Yeah.
Quite often you get hotels. So that was really nice for a change to have, just a little bit of comfort. And it's not like, at the end of the day, 5-6 hour drives in a van are not going to be comfortable regardless.
Of course.
There's the usual stuff, you got tire issues and van issues and all that stuff happens. But it was nice for a change to not have to be, as responsible and worried about those things.
Just kind of ride and play.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with
and
that.
another thing that was very different from the U.S. So when you go to a gas station or a truck stop, you
Yeah.
have to pay to get into the restroom.
Wow.
It's like either like 50 cent euro or 70 cent euro. But the bathrooms are always clean, bro.
Yeah.
And
Nothing wrong
when
with
you're
that.
on tour, dude, you got to take a dump, dude. You,
For real.
you gotta be confident there's somewhere you can go. And
Exactly.
dude, the bathrooms are always clean. And then if you buy something at the counter, you get like 50 cent of your 70 cents back credited towards your purchase.
Wow.
So I thought that was a pretty cool system. A lot of Americans, if you told them that you had to pay to go to the bathroom, they would turn their nose up at it. But I found it was a nice thing to be able to depend on.
Yeah, and be able to actually go to a bathroom and know that when you step in, it's going to be clean and not pissed on and shit on the
Yeah.
walls and stuff like that, which is
Oh my
pretty
God. Look,
scary, man. Yeah. I was
for sure.
I was over the road truck driver for like 8 or 9 months, and I just remember anytime I went into like a bathroom that I wasn't at like a truck stop, where at a truck stop you have to pay like $17 just to take a shower, or you have to have like 200 gallons in diesel and you get a free shower. But like for the most part, anytime I went into a bathroom that wasn't like a paid bathroom, it was a fucking nightmare. It just looked like a murder
Yeah,
scene.
yeah.
It's like crazy. So I definitely feel you on that one. We're going to transition back into talking about Young Ghost, as you guys just dropped a new single / music video for Watch You Choke. Can you talk about what that song is actually about? And I do know a little bit about where you guys shot that music video. Maybe you want to talk a little bit more about the music video recording process for that video.
All right, so I'll be honest. On Watch You Choke, that might be a question to save for a Nick episode.
Okay,
If you
yeah,
get
yeah.
the time to cross paths with Nick.
I'm hoping
Um,
to get him here soon too.
so sometimes Nick and I's creative paths will like intersect and
Mhm.
we'll collaborate on things like that. But Watch You Choke is not one of those. So
Mhm.
I would be the wrong person to talk to about the meaning behind that song.
Okay.
Um, but I will say, just kind of a fun tidbit. It's kind of funny that was the first single we dropped because we recorded a handful.
Mhm.
Um, and that song actually almost got scrapped.
Really?
A little over a year ago, we had a handful of songs demoed out and we're getting ready to record. And that song just wasn't up to par. It wasn't the song you hear today so much.
Really?
But so Char and I got together one weekend and we just hashed it out, bro.
Yeah.
And we just kind of rewrote it a little bit, and that's the song you hear today.
Yeah, I will
Um,
say there's a lot of things that, like, I've heard you guys do stuff before. This song definitely sounds like you guys are trending in a heavier direction, even some more hardcore influences in what you guys did in this song.
For sure, man. I think we just tried to be like more creative and open to different things. It's no secret that the tuning is heavier. We tuned down on these songs, which was really fun. I was a little hesitant at first. When we first started playing heavy music back in the day, what was it? It was like drop D.
Yeah,
It was like
yeah,
the
yeah,
tuning.
yeah.
Well, these new songs are an F.
Ooh,
So
damn.
I was like, when that got brought to the table, I was like, dude, it's just gonna sound like mud. Like
Exactly.
it's not gonna sound like distinct. But
Are your
the more
strings
we wrote
falling
on
off?
it, But yeah, I mean, just over time, like Charles has a nice 8 string,
Mm-hmm.
super nice baritone 6.
Yeah.
Our new guitarist has a really nice custom 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you got the right gear to do it. It sounds good.
Hell yeah, man. That is definitely what's up.
But yeah, I mean, and then as far as like, I mean, we try to go heavy without sacrificing like kind of without sacrificing musicianship and like yeah, I don't know. The song needs to have dynamics, and that's always like a thing for us. But yeah, I mean, I'm stoked on it. The songs they're aggressive, they're fast.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
No, definitely.
And I can tell, dude, people's reactions to them when we play them,
Mhm.
they're definitely like thrown off. I like it.
No, I mean for real, it's one of those things where like